Hey guys, welcome back to Breaking the Mold. I'm Mike Bellardi, your host, and as promised before, I may have an interview here with the infamous Donald, the sound tech of Cafe Metropolis. Donald, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good.
Doing pretty good? Yeah. So, Donald, how long have you been here with Cafe Metropolis?
Probably about 11 or 12 years.
Almost from the beginning?
Yeah, just about from the beginning.
So, your responsibility, now, I want to say simply, but of course it's no simple task, is to make every band that steps foot on the stage at Cafe Metropolis sound as best as possible. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's possible.
Now, what would you say has been some of your best experiences and best bands that you've enjoyed to seeing and coming here at Metropolis?
Well, I don't know. A lot of older... I'm kind of old, so like Worthless United is probably my favorite band that ever played here.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, I've known that Bayside has also been here, or Anthony has been here doing his acoustic set. Also good friends of yours, as I take it, correct?
Definitely.
So, but a lot of the local talent has also stepped through the doors to play on this venue, whereas some of my bands, as of some of the other bands, for example, Tom May from Bob and the Saggets, the Menzingers has also played here, who were originally signed to Go-Kart Records, have done that. What would you say has been your response to the local talent in this area?
Oh, I love the local bands. I get more excited about a lot of the local bands, more about the local bands than national bands lately.
Lately. So, now of course doing sound and making sure that you're watching the crowd, what's going on. What are some of the things that you have to deal with almost on a daily basis when you're getting ready to do a show, when you're getting ready for the crowd to walk right in up to, I don't even know how many people. What would you say is the most amount of people you've had at the show?
I think we sell out at like 250 now.
About 250.
We used to, before we had somebody measure the room, we had a lot more people in here.
Yeah. Then the fire code and all that stuff had to be brought up to date. But as I was asking before, what would you say is one of the hardest tasks or biggest responsibilities that you have going on while a band's playing?
Well, while a band's playing, I would say, well, you just it depends on what it is, because, you're not going to really have a lot of problems at, a ska show. But if you have, like, A Life Once Lost or, a large, like, metalcore band, you get a bunch of people that want to watch a band and a bunch of people that want to do karate and a bunch of people that watch MTV and want to go out and bro mosh. So everybody has kind of different opinions of what fun is, and you just kind of have to make sure people respect each other and watch out for people that aren't. I'd say that's the hardest thing to have to do and probably the most annoying, but basically most of our local kids are pretty respectful to each other. Nothing you can really do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it happens. I see the sign back there. It's a little blocked up. It says no body contact, but...
We got that from the strip club next door when they closed, yeah. There was a fire and it burnt down and we scavenged that from, You're actually allowed to make out anywhere you want.
Hear that? Hear that? You're allowed to make out in Cafe Metropolis. I'm not going to elaborate any further, even though I've been here several times for many years. I don't want to get onto that topic. Anyway, so, now, what would you say is your favorite genre of music to come through the Cafe Metropolis?
I'm a big fan of punk rock bands, basically pop punk bands. Anything that sounds like the Descendants is what I'm most stoked about. I'd say the band this year that I discovered playing here was probably Delay from Columbus. They're probably my...
Never heard of them.
Yeah, they're probably my pick of the year for bands I found. Them and maybe Dear Landlord. But, yeah, that's what I get most stoked about.
Now, what would you say the overall status of that draws into Metropolis lately? I remember in my youth coming here, punk rock was just a huge thing. Bands like not necessarily Against All Authority, more like a punk rock with a ska mix. Big D and the Kids Table, the Queers, a whole bunch of other bands that have come through. Who would you say now, today, in 2009, has really been drawing the local crowd and other crowds beyond that?
Well, the recession-proof musical genre is definitely ska. And a lot of people don't realize that because people get older, and older people often don't listen to it. But there's always going to be 100 kids that will come see almost any band with a horn section, and it's because it's really high energy and really positive. Like, there's nobody that's angry at those shows, and there's nobody that's intimidating. So that's usually what pays our rent.
Ska shows pay the rent. So, absolutely, I totally understand that. Positive energy in Wilkes-Barre at Cafe Metropolis. If you know a ska band, you love ska bands, this is one of the places to see it. One of the probably places I've came almost every weekend just to see a ska band. For example, a local talent, bands like the Menzingers and the Bob and the Saggets. There's a couple other ska bands like the Losers that grew up in this area. Bands who have all kind of separated and gone their own ways throughout the last number of years. But still, this is one of the meccas and homes between Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, Northeast PA, that bands like that, especially ska, punk rock, hardcore, heavy metal, have stepped foot here to play their shows, especially as local artists. So, thank you for your time.
Awesome.
So, we'll be catching up with you soon. We'll be here. We'll be interviewing Color Fred, and I'm sure you're stoked to see them like we are.
Yes, definitely.
All right, guys, we're going to take a small break, maybe a little bit more Cafe Metropolis a little later on, and we'll see what else is going on. Don't touch that dial.